On paper where the story's told, facts and truth, the legend grows. Lionheart's here with fire to spit. It's on paper with Anthony Smith.
With Anthony Smith.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the On Paper podcast presented by Black Buffalo. I'm Anthony. Kelly still works here. She's back from Spain. How was Spain?
I always said I didn't think I would like a place more than I liked Italy. Like if I ever get married, which I know the running joke on this show is that
You're not going to. That's not going to happen.
It would be in Italy.
Nobody
now
wants to
I think
marry.
I want it to be in Spain.
Okay. Well, it looked like you were just like an Instagram model the whole time. I don't think you did anything but take pictures.
I didn't. It was all about the photo. Phone ate first. Phone saw me before I even took my next step. It was all about the Instagram.
It was all about the gram. The whole
Yes,
time.
but you were away too. You're fresh off the plane. That's why we're doing this a day
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, we're a day late. I literally got off the plane, got in the car, drove here, and came right into my office, and here we are. I've never been more fucking happy to be home.
Why?
We had a blast. We had so much fun. But I drank my fucking weight in vodka in Mexico. I drank way too much. I didn't sleep enough. But you know what I did do?
What?
And now that I thought about it, we're gonna put a picture in the episode of this thing. I swam with fucking whale sharks.
Oh,
in
did
Mexico.
you?
I did.
How was that?
It was the thing. It was the thing.
It happened.
Yeah, it happened. I didn't really. I was pretty indifferent to the whole thing. My wife said, "You can swim with whale sharks in Mexico." I said, "All right, whatever. Like, cool." I was like trying to scuba dive too. I was trying to figure out like how I can dip out for like 3 or 4 hours and go do my own thing,
Right.
and it didn't work, so I wasn't able to do that. But she wanted to do this whale shark swimming thing, and I was kind of like, "Yeah, whatever. Like, I'll do it just because you want to do it." And I left there loving whale sharks. This guide it gave us so much information. Like the education part of it was crazy cool. I learned a lot about whale sharks, and then swam 3 times, like 3 different jumps with whale sharks. It was crazy. They're so large.
It's not like scuba
it's
diving at all.
crazy.
Like you don't put any gear on. You're
No, we
just quite
snorkeled.
literally swimming.
Just snorkeling. So when not that anyone probably cares about whale sharks, but they feed mostly at the surface. So whatever time of year this happens to be is like it's happening right now. So there's all the plankton and the krill and all the things that they eat and the fish eggs and all that stuff are near the surface of the water. So they just come up at the surface and they just open their huge mouth right at the surface of the water, and they just swim with this ginormous mouth wide open. And then they close it, and then it filters, and then that's all they do all day. That's all they do. They swim at the surface and they just have their mouth wide open and they're just filter feeding the entire time. It was absolutely fucking insane. The size of these
shitting
things.
your pants? Because I would be.
It's the first time in a long time something's made me really nervous. But when I was sitting on the side of the boat and the Mexican guy said, "Jump," and I was like, "Wait, right now?" He said, "Yes, go." They kind of give you a fucking shove because it's like the timing has to be right, and you just jump in, and then and they're pretty fast too. So you're fucking kicking your feet like a madman the whole time to keep up to them, keep up with them. But you just swim right along the side of them. Like I could reach out and just touch it, and just swam with it as long as I could. Like as long as my cardio would last. Like me and my wife are just swimming alongside of these fucking whale sharks. It was insane. Insane.
It's just not something I would ever want to do.
Fun
I'm glad
fact.
you had fun, but no.
Fun fact, whale sharks don't communicate. They travel alone. They're never in any kind of they have no social interactions at all other than mating. They think that they have one one video of whale sharks mating, but they think that the female was not didn't reach sexual maturity, so it didn't actually work. They don't know anything about whale sharks. Nobody knows a fucking thing about whale sharks. Like their patterns, how they travel, they don't follow any kind of specific travel pattern. They don't go to the same places. They like they end up in the same places to feed, but like they're like kind of a mystery. It's kind of fun actually.
Like,
It's
what are
like
you, a Snapple cap?
kinda.
In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah, I learned a lot. So everyone watching this right now just learned a lot about whale sharks. They're kind of a mysterious fucking animal. No one really knows anything about them. They just swim around with their mouths open and feed. You know that their throats are only as big as a golf ball too?
obviously, I don't know that.
Yeah. Their mouths are fucking huge, but their throats are really tiny. So if you got swallowed by one, it would spit you out right away.
Was that the
Um,
highlight of your trip?
Probably. We were two other couples. It was so it would have been it's Ross's 40th birthday,
Okay.
and then Jesse, another couple, the wife of the other couple, her 40th is coming up. So it's kind of like this 40th birthday trip, and we just tagged along.
Your birthday's coming up.
It is on Saturday.
Mhm.
Yeah, on Saturday. I'm getting fucking old.
I didn't say it.
But it was kind of like a birthday trip. It was Nadine's birthday today, so like a bunch of birthdays happening. So that was kind of the idea of the trip. One day we went to breakfast at this like rooftop pool. Like there's a little breakfast restaurant spot next to it,
Mhm.
and never left.
All
We ate
day?
breakfast. We ate breakfast at like 10 o'clock, and I don't know that anyone remembers a whole lot like afternoon, but we didn't. From what I understand, we didn't leave there till like 4:30. So it
And
was a
just drank
long
straight through?
straight through at the pool the whole time. I met a lot of
Oh
really cool
my
people. I met
God.
some people from Kansas City. I met some
Nice.
people from Chicago that like this is what I do on these fucking trips. I go and I meet a bunch of people and then I just make a bunch of new friends all over the country. So like the people in Chicago are going to come to the pay-per-view in
Of
Chicago that I'm
course they
working.
are.
Right. And then the Kansas City people also have Chiefs season tickets. So we're going to go kick it with them and tailgate. It was a blast. I had so much fun.
I'm glad you had fun because you've got a pretty big surgery tomorrow. So it was your
I
last
do.
hurrah
I
for
know
a
I
couple
was.
weeks, huh?
I didn't really want to talk about it. I'm kind of
Sorry.
nervous. Kind of nervous. I've never been nervous before a surgery before.
Really?
I'm really nervous. Yeah, I've never been nervous before.
Why
Because
do you
like,
think you're so this was obviously a big surgery for you, but
mhm.
what's different? Why are you nervous about this one?
I think just where it is, like your spine
Sure.
is pretty sensitive.
Of course.
Like if you had a knee surgery or hand or arm or leg, or like, yeah, if it goes really bad, I'll lose my leg. It's not really that big of a deal. Like it is what it is.
The mentality of you people is wild.
What do you mean, you
That's
people?
you fighters. You all have a screw loose.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know. I've just never been super nervous because like worst case scenario is you lose a leg. Like I figured out, I could have a decent life with just one leg. When it's like, and then they explain how they do it. So like they have to like cut my neck open in the front and then resect all of like my windpipe and like my throat, like all of that stuff. They like hook it and they just pull it all the way open so that they can get to my spine from the front. And then they have to like screw these little cages on 3 vertebrae. And then they put a plate on the front of that. And then they screw the plate to that. And then they have to get my actual disc out of my out from in between my like vertebrae and then put in a synthetic. It's just
I almost wouldn't want to
excuse me.
know. When they would go into the explanation, I'd be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
If you have to do it, just do it. I don't want to know.
Yeah. That I think that's what it is. It's just a lot. It's a really big surgery. So if you haven't figured it out yet, people, that's a 2-level fusion and a synthetic disc replacement, which is it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's great. By the time this episode drops, you will have gone through your surgery already. You'll
Right.
be in recovery.
Hopefully alive, which is the
Don't-
worst part because
Jesus.
like a week ago, the day after I booked it would have been 2 weeks ago. The day after I booked the surgery, like when we got the date down,
Mhm.
one of my friends sent me a link, like a TMZ article or something. There was a like a really famous or popular plastic surgeon in California that was having the exact same surgery and fucking died during the
Why
surgery.
would they send you that?
Because my friends are assholes. All of them. Come on, you got friends like that.
I know you're laughing.
Dan would do
to
the
hide
same
your
thing.
tears right now.
Dan would do the same thing.
Dan's gonna be pumped that you just said his name.
He's famous.
We love Dan. No,
We
I
do love
obviously
Dan.
have friends like that, but still,
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
they don't
They're
give a fuck
preying on
about
your
me.
nerves, and you're laughing to hide the tears right now.
I
I can tell.
No.
Like if
Oh,
you don't,
God.
if you stop laughing, you're gonna be crying.
I hope I don't die. Oh,
You're not gonna
that'll be
die.
fine. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I shouldn't even be on my phone right now because we're recording this. But so I've never had, every surgery I've ever had has been by Brian Conroy.
Okay.
Brian Conroy has been, this is fun. I love talking about Brian. When I was a teenager, like 17, 18, I was really struggling and like it's just financially having a tough time. I was hungry. Just was hard, right? But I was training with this doctor who was a orthopedic surgeon, really, really nice guy. He would come in with his kids. He's got daughters, so he'd come in with his daughters that would do jiu-jitsu. And he'd hit pads and do some kickboxing or whatever. But he's not a very big guy. He's kind of a little guy, but the nicest human, very quiet. But you can just talk to him like this guy's a fucking genius.
Right.
But he would just always talk to me and like, how are things with you? How's this going? How is that going? And like, I would bang my knee up or something and he would come to the gym and he would check it out and give me a knee brace. And, if I needed some imaging, he would text me and say, come in, I'll take care of you. Like, I didn't have any fucking insurance and I didn't have any money, but, he kind of just bring you in. He would do the x-rays and he would help you out or help me out. Like, and a lot of the other guys at the gym, he took really good care of us.
Okay.
He's done every surgery I've ever had.
Every single one? Because you've had a lot.
Every single one. There's been twice where we needed to bring in a specialist, but Brian was always in the surgery and like assisted.
Okay.
So we would it was just something that would be too much for him. So we'd bring in somebody else, but Brian was always in there with me. So I've never had a surgery without him.
The way you're speaking leads me to believe he's not doing this one tomorrow.
So it's a spine surgery. You can't really, it's not it's a very specialized surgery. It's a very specialized thing. So I've been kind of freaking out, like really nervous. So like I've been texting Brian. My wife has been texting Brian, like very, very afraid. And he just texted me, "We'll see you tomorrow at Emmanuel before surgery. Think good thoughts." So he has the ability at that hospital to be there.
Sure.
He's had a lot of shit going on, but him and my spine surgeon are really good friends. They did their residency together years and years and years ago.
That's great.
And so he's going to come and he's going to scrub in and just be there with me.
So that's got to give you some sense of comfort.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck now. I feel really good about it. Brian, because I know the surgeons, their job is to help people or whatever, but I know that Brian would never let anything bad happen to me.
Of course not.
And the other surgeon wouldn't either. I'm not saying he would, but Brian's like, when I was a teenager, he used to slip like a couple $100 in my bag, like in my gym bag.
He was always looking out.
Always looking out. He was at my wedding. He was at my last fight. So when I was getting my face stitched up, I don't know. I don't like other doctors. I don't like doctors. So Brian's always been the one that's always taken care of. He's actually Terrence Crawford's cut man too. There's a fun fact for you guys. Terrence Crawford's cut man. But I was coming through the curtains in my retirement fight, and they were like, "You're going to need a lot of stitches." And I was like,
"Where's Brian?"
I was like, "Fuck it, just put something on it, and I'll have Brian do it when I get home." And then I went through the other side of the curtains, and there he was standing right there. And so I was like, "Brian, I'm not fucking doing this. You can do this." He said, "No, I know that guy. It's fine. He can stitch you up. It'll be okay."
He sounds like a guy that knows everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
He knows somebody everywhere.
He's a great human being. He's one of my favorite people in the whole world. And that's why I brought it up. I just got the text that he's going to be there with me tomorrow.
See, and now you feel better.
I feel way better about it.
I can tell. It feels like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah, I feel way better because he texted me while I was in Mexico and was unsure if he was going to be able to do it because I think he's doing surgery tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's busy. I mean, he's fixing other folks too. So
sure.
Sounds like you got some stuff moved around. I'm pretty happy about that. Anyways, it's a long way around. How about that fucking Dustin Poirier though? To get this train back on the tracks.
Dustin Poirier, his retirement fight, that's something you can't miss it regardless of where you are. So I'm glad we both got to watch. Obviously, Max Holloway walks away with the win. He avoids being on the wrong side of history, going 0-3 in 2 trilogies, but unfortunately spoils Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. What did you make of the fight? Scorecards were 49-46, 49-46, 48-47. Did it seem closer to you? Did it seem like Max was pretty dominant? Because some people online had it 50-45. What did you think?
I'm good with the scorecards. Because you can have a really close fight and have a guy go 50-45.
Absolutely.
It just means every round is really close. Um, I think Max had the bigger moments. I think that his shots were a little more impactful than Dustin's were. Dustin said something that really resonated with me though. He was talking. I think he was talking to Mike Bond.
Mhm.
Fantastic journalist. And Mike asked some great questions. And Mike, I don't remember what the question was, but Dustin's response was he felt like he was being like he had a mindset of self-preservation. And that really resonated with me. Like the second you start worrying about your own health and safety, it's probably time to get out. Because I was the same way like Dustin. I didn't give a fuck. I would run myself into a car accident if I thought I was going to land one shot. I was willing to take one to give one when I was younger. And if you told me there's a 50-50 shot that you go out if you enter into that exchange, I would have fucking taken those odds every single time. And as I got older, I started thinking more about my health and my I was sick of going into surgeries. I was sick of being hurt. I was sick of the fucking headaches. I was sick of the light sensitivity every time you go home. When you go home on Sunday, and that's what gets missed. No one sees the 8 weeks it took you to get there, and they see the 15 minutes or the 25 minutes that you're in the octagon, but nobody sees the 6 weeks after. I've heard people like talk about what fighters are like and what they look like. Like maybe you see the Instagram posts, you see the pictures. That's not what it's really like. That's what we're willing to show you. No one is showing you your kids bringing you your food and water in your bedroom because you can't get out of it because it's too light because your brain is fucking damaged.
Like that's
Like
when you guys are most vulnerable.
right. Nobody sees us unable to drive. Yeah, nobody sees us unable to drive for a couple weeks because we can't focus on the road. Nobody sees any of that stuff. And so when you start worrying about it after, or when you start worrying about the after while you're in the fight, that's when I knew for sure that the end was getting close. When I was unwilling to enter into some of those engage in some of those exchanges, because I remember thinking, like, fuck, I just don't want to get hurt. I'm just over being hurt. I'm over being injured. I'm over everything hurting all the time. I'm over the broken noses, the broken orbitals. I'm over I'm over not being able to chew my fucking food for 2 weeks. I'm over it. So I'm not going to go this time. Like you see it, you see the moment, like you're in the fight, your fucking head moving. And if I go, I'm probably going to land a big shot, but I'm probably going to take a big one too. When I was young, I didn't give a fuck.
Well, even for somebody like you walk away with injuries and things that you would just get in any normal fight, but you've also had major injuries. You've had a ton of surgeries, just a bunch of fights where you've walked away seriously, seriously, seriously hurt, especially a little bit later in your career. So it gets to a point where it's like, I just want to be able to walk out of here.
Yeah, I just want to be okay. I'm just done being okay. I'm just done not being okay. And so when he said that, I don't know that and maybe you guys will go back and you'll look at it now and you'll see that interview with through a different lens. But when I heard him say it, I knew exactly what he was talking about.
You could kind of see it in the last 10 seconds when Max did his classic point to the ground. We're going to stand and
"No, I'm
trade.
good."
Dustin was like, and he even, I think it was
Right.
with 5 seconds left, he clinched up a little bit.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this.
Why are we about to get into a firefight when this is
Right.
what's going to happen?
Right. I'm going to get knocked out in the last 5 seconds of my career. No, thank you.
You saw
No,
what
thank
you
you.
saw what he just did to Justin Gaethje after he pointed
Right.
to the ground. That's
Yeah,
what we're
that
going to
shit's
do. My last
and
10
that shit's
seconds.
everywhere. And that shit's everywhere. You ain't fucking posterizing me. That's what I felt like. So when he said that, I was so happy that he is retiring, because he said it now means he's been thinking it for a long time. And so I'm just happy for him. He's got a baby on the way. He's got an amazing wife. I've met her a handful of times. She's lovely. He's got an awesome daughter that he takes everywhere.
Did you see the belt she gave him?
Yes, it's fucking awesome. He's rich. He's been crazy successful. He's
In
had a
and out
belt.
of the octagon.
Right, he's had a belt on him.
Foundations, hot sauce,
Right.
all of the above.
Right. He had an interim title. Like he's done it all. He's done it all. And I just hope he doesn't have any regrets. But I had a very nostalgic fight card, actually. There was a lot of emotional responses I had during the entire fight. Watching Michael Johnson turn away at 39 years old, turn away a young stud and just quietly find himself on a 3-fight win streak. Dustin Poirier, who kind of represents the journey that a lot of us from our era kind of went through. The the not having any money, the struggle, the driving with your girlfriend from city to city, just chasing this fucking thing with just this girl who doesn't even have any idea what she's got herself into, but she's down to ride for it anyways. Like it's great. The whole thing. It's a movie. It's a fucking movie. Watching Ryan Spann move up a weight class and start to look like he's growing. He's evolving. He opened up a little bit in his media too, which is kind of a new thing for him. That was fucking cool. Whether him and I had some beef, it's all behind us and it's all bullshit. But
You had a
I
couple former opponents find success on this card.
yeah, I still want to see Ryan Spann win. I want to see him thrive. As much shit, it's kind of a gimmick where I'm always cracking jokes about Ryan, but that's just me being funny. I want Ryan to thrive. I want him to continue to feed his family. I think he looks good at heavyweight. He looked like shit in his last fight, but I think he was struggling maybe a bit with the weight class change. I thought he looked really good. It looks like he's grown into the weight class comfortably now. Shooting takedowns and shit. That's a fucking new thing. That was cool. Jimmy Crute, my man. I've always loved Jimmy. We've never had any issue. I had a blast with him after we fought. I spent all night. The night we fought was when Kamaru Usman knocked out Masvidal. Chris Weidman broke his leg on that same card right before me, or right after me.
Yeah. I remember you were in your post-fight interview.
Yeah,
When it
and I
happened.
seen it happen. And I did my whole training camp with Chris, or a large part of it. So Chris and I did our training camps together. But it was, I spent the whole night after the Jimmy Crute fight with him and his dad and one of his coaches. And so it was like, we're kind of still in that weird COVID thing. So they were going to have to quarantine for like 2 weeks when they got back to Australia. The whole thing, the whole experience I had with Jimmy Crute and his team was an absolute positive one. We've stayed in touch ever since. So watching him, he's kind of had a bit of a roller coaster too. So
Absolutely.
seeing him thrive and I want Ryan Spann's family to eat. I want Jimmy Crute's family to eat. I just want everybody to win. And that's how I'm getting fucking old.
Ever since you retired, I feel like you've watched these fight cards with a different lens.
It's totally different.
And I noticed it. Pre-retirement, we were coming on here just breaking down the fights. You were
right.
Giving your takes and things like that. Now it's much more emotional.
It's very emotional. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. That's so weird. But I did feel like like we were watching it at the sports bar in Mexico. And people were coming up. They're like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And every one of my responses was super emotional. Like watching the Ryan Spann fight, like, well, what'd you think of that? Man, I'm just so happy for him and his kids. It had nothing to do with like his performance. He looked great. Like, technically the X's and the O's, I thought he looked really good. But it was a lot of like, man, I just know that guy loves the fuck out of his kids. And he's just trying so hard for his family. He's very quiet, keeps to himself for the most part. It was just good. I don't know. I don't know why I'm so emotional.
Build fight on the card is Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway, two family men, kids, good guys. Usually you'd look at that fight and you're like, I want to see blood and violence. I was like, I just want them to have fun. I want everyone to be okay.
I just want to draw.
Mhm.
I want to draw. I don't want them to be okay.
And
I don't want them to be injured. I want them to go hang out and have a steak dinner together afterwards. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting soft. Getting soft in my old age.
I want to talk about a couple of things with the Dustin Poirier and the Max Holloway fight. And
in case you're wondering, that is a high noon. Just saying.
At least you're not hiding it. Like, let's just be honest.
I'm not. Let's just fucking be honest.
And you have surgery tomorrow, so I'll allow.
Yeah, I'm going to be down for a couple weeks, so we're just going to keep this Mexico thing rolling.
I want to start with Max Holloway because the story of the card, the story of the fight, the story of the week, the story of the month leading up to UFC 318 was Dustin Poirier's final walk. This is Dustin Poirier's final fight. And Max Holloway played spoiler to the retirement party. And I feel like that's getting lost a little bit. This was a really big win for Max. And when you look at what Max has done at 155, a lot of people were questioning how he would be at lightweight. And now he has wins over two of the best guys in the division, Justin Gaethje by emphatic knockout and Dustin Poirier dominant decision. Just what's your take on Max? Not even just how he looked in the fight, just Max at 155 at this stage in his career.
Well, he's looked phenomenal at 155 pounds. His first kind of like trip to 155 pounds looked awful. In that first Dustin Poirier fight the second Poirier fight at 155 pounds. But I thought he looked the last Dustin fight, I thought he looked slow. He looked a bit lethargic. He wasn't carrying the weight very well. And so when I went back and watched it again, I'm like, man, that is not the same Max we're seeing now. And we forget Max Holloway's not that old. He's been around a long time, but I think Max is like 33 years old. He's just coming into his physical prime. So I think that now that he's allowing his body to feed, he's allowing it to grow. He's allowing himself to be healthy. He looks fucking great. And it makes me wonder, like, how long did you suck yourself down to 145 pounds? And you might have been better longer. Like you might have been more successful at 155 pounds 3 years ago if you'd allowed yourself to grow and be fed and fuel yourself the way but he was
necessary. In that spot at featherweight where he was beating every single person except the champion. And he kept getting cracks at Volkanovski. So you can't even really blame him for staying there.
No, you can't.
He's going to keep getting the cracks.
But he's way better at 55. He's way better. And now he's cracking. Like he's hurting people. He wasn't really hurting people.
I was so curious to see how his power would translate at this stage of his career. And
he had no power at 45. And now he's got like knock you the fuck out power at 55. It's crazy.
It's wild. He was the volume.
I want to see him versus Topuria in a rematch at 55. That's a different fight.
Even though he lost in, I guess, devastating fashion at 145, does the different weight class change things for you?
It seems to. It seems to be a big difference. It really does. And Poirier is notorious for being the guy that's going to take one to give one. And like I was talking about, maybe some of that is his unwillingness to step into the fire and take damage at this point in his career. But also, I think a lot of that is Max's power is different.
Yeah.
That's always the one thing. Like if I was ever to be a Max Holloway hater, not that I ever would, but if I was going to, the one knock I would have on Max, his output is incredible. His boxing is great. His angles are great. Defensively, at times, he's been a little bit fucking reckless, but that's why we love him. Mm-hmm. His wrestling is great. His takedown defense is great. His jiu-jitsu is great. The one knock has always been he doesn't really have that game-changing power that's going to hurt you and back you off.
Sure.
And I can't say that anymore. Just now he's hurting people. Now he's cracking. Before it was very volume heavy, touch, over and over and over. It's like death by 1,000 cuts.
Well, yeah.
Now he doesn't need
Calvin Kattar. Like
right.
He's not knocking him out. But
what would he do to Kattar? What would he do to Kattar at 55?
Exactly.
I love Kattar, but
Same.
Kattar doesn't absorb 1,000 shots like that. If the Max Holloway that's cracking now, Kattar couldn't. He wouldn't have had the ability to take that many shots.
You're 1,000.
Because Max would have put him out, and that's what gets missed. I think that the lower weight class fighters everyone always says they're more skillful, they're better fighters. That look at the combinations and the angle changes, and maybe that's true, but we don't have the ability at 185, 170, even 170, 185, 205 heavyweight. You can't throw a 5-punch combination in the pocket like Topuria does. Good fucking luck. Because Topuria, even look at the combination he knocked out Oliveira with. He took 2 in the process.
Yep.
On his way in.
In
that whole finishing sequence, he took 2 glancing shots. But at 55, sometimes you can do that. You can't do that at 205. You can't take the glancing shots at 205 because my brain and Topuria's brain are the same size. But our bodies are different sizes. So I don't like That's the only difference is the shots are heavier and then they come harder, but come harder. That's gross.
Pause.
Pause. But Max is now in that, and now he's brought himself in this situation where you can't throw a fucking 5-punch combination with Max in the pocket because he might put you the fuck out, and that's different. That's different, and I want to see this Max Holloway versus Ilya Topuria.
I want to
really
see him
do.
against a lot of people. But with this win, he becomes almost the most interesting contender for Ilya, even having the knockout loss to him.
Mm-hmm.
I'd almost rather see Max fight Ilya over Justin Gaethje, and you're not going to find a bigger Justin Gaethje fan than me. I'd rather see it over Arman just because of name value, and over Patty as well.
How many times has Max done this? Where we have all these questions and who's it gonna be and who's the next contender, and then fucking Max Holloway fights, and there's no more questions. They're like, oh, okay, that's the answer. That's the answer.
That was what was happening at 45. Every time you thought you had a new contender, they'd put you against Max, and Max beat everybody else.
It's crazy.
Volkanovski was just his kryptonite at that stage of his career.
Right. Think about this. Volkanovski's fought at 55.
Mm-hmm.
What if they fought now? We already know that Volkanovski's beat him 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you favor in a rematch right now at 55?
Max.
That's what a guy. That's crazy.
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is.
As much as we sing his praises and the UFC praises him, as popular as he is, I don't know that he gets enough credit. I don't know that we're even telling the Max Holloway story correctly. I don't know that we're doing it any justice.
Well, I don't even think we're close to the end.
No, we're close. 30, is he 33?
33. I looked it up.
He's 33 years old. I feel like Max Holloway's been in the UFC for 20 years.
I feel like Max Holloway's 50.
Yeah, I know.
And not because he looks it, he doesn't look just physically in the octagon, whatever, just because he's been around for so long.
Right. He was a champion for so long, so many big fights, so many big names, huge wins. It's just insane. I would love to get the opportunity to sit down and I'm going to beg him to come on here, and he's not going to, but I would love to just sit down and
shoot.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to ask for sure. But I would love to just fighter to fighter, just talk to him about why are you different? What's different about you? And I'll probably figure it out as we talk. But he's kind of like a whale shark. He's a bit mysterious because he's super nice, really cool. I've had great experiences with him, but no one's ever really hung out with Max Holloway. I don't know why that is. He's kind of just.
It's by design. I'm sure.
It is. He does his own thing. He's not around a lot. He lives on the island, so he's not in our very specific MMA world on the mainland. He doesn't come to a lot of events. He doesn't do a lot of appearances. There's not a lot of signings. He's a bit mysterious. And when you see him though, he's the nicest guy in the world. And
Absolutely.
he's like me. He's like a fight nerd. He's into the bowels of the fight game. So you'll see him and he'll bring up some shit that just some obscure, crazy bullshit.
Really?
I'm like, wow, he is in this. He's in this. He's paying very close attention.
He just moves quietly.
He does.
I want to
now on. That's what I'm gonna call him, a whale shark.
A whale shark. Try explaining that to him.
Yeah, Max Holloway is the whale shark.
Also, just shout out to him for the way he handled his post-fight interview in the octagon. He kept it quick. Again, huge win for him, like we said, that puts him right in the title mix at 55, despite having that loss to Ilya Topuria. And despite it being such a massive win, he understood it was Dustin's night, Dustin's moment. He thanked the crowd. Sorry to play spoiler, but this is Dustin's moment, and kept it moving. Just pure class from Max, as always.
It's a crazy class. It's insanely respectful, but also for him, he could have had that was his opportunity to light the microphone on fire and kind of tell the world to go fuck yourself. And here's what I want. This is my fucking fight. I want that goddamn title fight. Tell me why I can't have it. He could have kind of lit the whole thing up, for him to kind of just you know what he said? Dustin gave me an amazing opportunity. How crazy is that? That someone like Max Holloway is thanking someone else for an opportunity. That also tells you a lot what the boys in the back think about Dustin Poirier.
And did you see the clip of Max's son, Rush, thanking Dustin for giving
Yes.
Max the opportunity to fight him in his final fight?
We need to be better people.
Max is the front-facing guy to all the fans. He's the fighter, but
Mhm.
shout out to anybody that's even played a tiny role in raising that kid
For
because
sure.
he is crazy respectful and so well-mannered at such a
That
young
tells you
age,
what kind of person Max is.
without a doubt.
Like
And the
what kind
people
of
that Max
father,
surrounds himself with.
right? What kind of father he is for his son. I don't even know how old he is now. Like how old is that kid now?
Let's see.
Because when I hadn't seen a picture of him or seen him like on, like in a like a promo or anything for a while. And when I seen him, like, God damn, that kid's about grown.
I know.
He's got to
He
be
looks like a little man now.
right. It's wild. It's like he's
I think he's like 12 or 13.
yeah. I was gonna say he's got to be like 13, like growing up right in front of us. Like
But
we just
just
watched, but watching how he interacts with people tells me a lot about like the father that Max is. Because
even Dustin was
my
like, "No,
kid,
your dad gave me the opportunity.
yeah, my kid ain't doing that. My
I
kid's
wasn't
like,
doing that at
no,
12."
she's like fucking on TikTok and like, you beat up my dad, go fuck yourself.
But that's how I would be too.
Right. What a good kid. What a great dad. What a great father. I think his wife's like a professional surfer too, right?
She's something cool.
She
Every time I
she
see them together,
see,
I'm like,
isn't that
"Yes."
crazy? You could look at them walking through like not even a UFC event, anywhere. And you could look at those two and say, they're doing something fucking cool. Both of them are really good at something.
I could not know a thing about MMA and see these people in like Iowa
Yeah.
and be like, "They're famous
They're famous.
for something
Yeah,
good."
yeah. Yeah, they do something really fucking good. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad we're giving Max his flowers too, because I know that the whole event was kind of tailored around Dustin Poirier and his retirement. And it was in his
Rightfully
home
so.
state, and I thought the whole week was incredible, seeing all the promotional stuff coming through and everything on social media, and I thought it was cool. But also, Max deserves a large part of that too, because if Dustin's fighting some prelim guy, it's not going to get this type of attention.
Yeah. And Dustin chose Max pretty much. Like that just shows you what kind of guy and what kind of fighter
Right.
Max is. That Dustin
Totally
wanted
agree.
his last fight to be against a guy like him.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Dustin, we've said it a million times. This was all about him, one of the greats of just in all of UFC history, not just his era, former interim lightweight champion, and quite literally up until his last fight has fought a murderer's row
Yeah.
of people. Max Holloway 3 times, Conor McGregor 3 times, Justin Gaethje twice, Eddie Alvarez twice, Habib, Islam, Benoit Saint Denis. At a time, nobody wanted a piece of that guy.
Right. Dan Hooker, one of the
Dan
best fights
Hooker.
you'll ever fucking watch in your whole life. If you guys haven't watched it, go back, watch Dan Hooker versus Dustin Poirier. What a goddamn barn burner that was.
The list goes on and on. Michael Johnson, who we're going to have on in just a couple minutes, Anthony Pettis, like any single guy he fought at that stage of his career at that time was an absolute killer. So, and it's, the most simple question, what is Dustin Poirier's legacy to you as another fighter who kind of came up in the same era as him?
He's I think it was John Anik who said this for the very first time, but Dustin Poirier is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. Like if you got a list of like every fighter's top 3 favorite fighters, Dustin Poirier is on all those lists.
Should be.
His legacy is, it's hard to even like quantify what it really means, but he's what we all want to be. Like very down to earth, crazy successful, turned his athletic success into like generational wealth. He's got a lot of businesses. Anytime I talk to him, that's what I try to talk to him about. Like, how do I be a better businessman?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a wife that loves him, a daughter that loves him. There's no bullshit stories about him. There's no scandals. There's just a good dude, and he's surrounded by a lot of good people. And I think you made a really good point that Max Holloway's son is a representation of the man and father that Max is, but also the people that he surrounds himself with. Because that kid very clearly has a lot of really good people around him, and that's because of his father. Dustin's very similar to that. Everyone that's around Dustin makes you feel like you're a better person for being around them, and that just says a lot about him. Those type of people want to surround them. They want to be around Dustin. They want to attach themselves to him. So I'm just really happy for that guy. And I know that it sucks. Like today, it sucks because he's like, "Fuck, I wish I could have went off on a win."
Of
But
course.
I thought the video package the UFC put together was great.
They're the
Um,
best. They are the
yeah,
absolute best at that thing.
the whole thing is great, and he's a future Hall of Famer for sure.
I'm also glad he got to take a step back. And it reminds me of you and your retirement fight. Like, the week or the 2 weeks after when we did
Mm-hmm.
speak, you said it was nice to be able to kind of just take a step back and be proud of your career and the things you've accomplished because you're no longer in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Dustin got to do that as well. And he spoke about it in an interview. And he just said, fighting for me has always just been about putting food on the table for my family.
Right.
And I never realized how
You don't lift your
love.
head and look around
Right, and he
at
finally
all.
got to do that, and it
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of something Eve Edwards said about him last week when you spoke with him and Dean Thomas, and he was like, "Dustin doesn't view himself as this larger than life famous celebrity," and that's something he absolutely is, but for him, he was just going in there literally to make money for his wife and his daughter and now his, soon to be second child. So to hear him say that just quantified everything Eve Everett said, which I knew was the truth. Eve knows him
Right.
very well. But it was just nice that he was able to just see it from a different view.
Yeah, he's just focused on. He spent his whole career focused on just putting food on the table and buying flower shirts. Like that's it. I need
As he
fancy.
should.
I need fancy shirts and food on the table, and so this. I don't know. The whole thing is again back to me being super emotional, but it was just I was just really proud of him, just and really happy for him because I know that feeling when you're watching that video. So Tracy texted me while that video was playing
Mhm.
and said, and like in quotation said, he did that shit. So like
Yeah.
he's like that's the first time he's probably ever just sat back and thought, "Holy fuck, I did all that." Because you're just not paying attention. You're grinding one at a time. So I was just really happy for him. I was really happy for Max. I know that Dustin would have chosen to win. I think it ended about as perfectly as you can expect, though, because Dustin goes out on a loss, but it was a competitive fight. It was really exciting. There was good moments for both guys. They almost finished each other.
Stock not down.
His stock isn't down. He wasn't gonna fight again anyways, so he didn't like eat up a title contention spot. Max looked fucking great. Really solidified himself at 55. Put himself in an incredible title contention position again. Gets a win, can continue to move on.
Mhm.
Dustin gives him the shine, but doesn't really lose anything. It kind of worked out perfectly. Like we all said,
Perfectly for the UFC, I would
for
say.
sure. Well, we all kept saying we wanted like we didn't want either one of them to lose. I don't know that there was a loser. I don't know that either one of them really lost. Of course, Dustin gets the L on his record, but did he really leave there
He's
Saturday
rich.
feeling like he got an L?
He's rich.
Probably not. Of
He's
course, he wants to
retired.
win, right?
He had a card built around him
In his
in
home state,
Louisiana. Lil
right?
Wayne.
Walked it like
What?
is that a loss?
No,
Is that a real loss? I don't think
no.
so. I don't
Real
think so.
quick, before we bring in Michael Johnson, who had a win himself over the weekend, MMA retirements very rarely stick. Do we see
Mm,
Dustin again in any
nah,
capacity?
nah. I
I
don't
don't
think
think so
so.
either.
I think he's done. Yeah, I think he's done. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Black Buffalo products are intended for adults aged 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco. If you're 21 or older and use nicotine or tobacco, it's time you charge ahead and join the herd with America's only credible smokeless tobacco alternative, Black Buffalo. Now available at thousands of best in-class retailers like Wawa, Circle K, Sheetz, Love's, Pilot, Racetrack, and more. Black Buffalo was established in America in 2015 to honor the ritual and tradition of dip without the tobacco leaf or stem. Black Buffalo's long cut and pouches are made of barn cured leafy greens that dip and feel like traditional products, all with food grade ingredients and USP grade nicotine. You're in good company with the Black Buffalo herd. Brand ambassadors like MMA Hall of Famer Cowboy Cerrone, professional race car driver Ryan Blaney, and country music star Larry Fleet all proudly dip Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative, an American brand built on authenticity and respect. If you're looking for a real dip experience, long cut or pouches, go to blackbuffalo.com to join the herd. Use their store locator to find a retailer near you or ship products directly to you in most states. Black Buffalo Tobacco Alternative, the future of dip, honoring the past. We're joined today by my guy, Michael Johnson, coming off of a huge win over a young up-and-comer. How do you feel, just generally, after the fight?
Well, Lionheart, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to talk to you after a fight. I feel
Man,
great.
I'm Oh, go ahead. You're good.
No, we got a delay. All right, cool. No, I feel great after the win. It was much needed. Now I'm just, healing up, trying to get back to normal and get back to work.
What do you so you were the biggest betting underdog, and all my friends, I just got back from Mexico, and I'm there, and all, my friends and all the people at the resort are like, who's the betting underdog, who's the live dog? And I was like, goddamn, Michael Johnson is the fucking live dog. I don't care what the betting odds say, that guy is live in every single fight. So both of us are kind of going through this transition, I guess, to where we're kind of the grizzled veterans and got these young guys kind of looking down at us, thinking that they're going to come and take everything we worked for. What was your mentality kind of going into the fight, especially with him trash talking a bit?
Well, yeah, that was funny. The trash talk part was it kind of threw me off guard, but at the same time, I'm like, man, these little kids, they really like don't know. Like, it's just this new generation of fighter, like just trash talking, calling me old. And man, Lionheart, just like I tell these guys, like guys like us, fighters like us who've been doing this for so long, have been keep competing at this top of level. We have something that they'll never have. Like, he would never have that type of experience going into that fight. And he tried to say experience doesn't mean anything, and he got a rude awakening Saturday night for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think you showed him that experience, it means a lot. You can be and I think he's great. He's got a lot of really good skills. The kid can fight. He's really tough, but there's something to be said for just being in the trenches and figuring it out as you go. And who gives a shit? Maybe he's better here, but I'll figure it out as we go along, that kind of walk down that road of the fight. But when you're going into that fight, what was, I guess, your guys' focus in terms of just his skill set, and what was dangerous and what were you trying to stay away from?
Well, he's definitely talented fighter. Very rangy, but he doesn't use it. He's having trouble figuring that part out because he is a young fighter. So my main mentality was going into this fight was, let's kind of stay away from his kicks, which I blocked a lot of them. I didn't stay away from him, and kind of just answer right after he throws something, because his defense was a little slow, and he's got good hands, but he doesn't he leaves his chin out a little too much. He makes a lot of mistakes like a kid would make getting into the game, just getting into the UFC. Like I said, he makes a lot of simple mistakes that are easy to catch on if you've been fighting for as long as I have.
So while I'm watching this fight happen, and it's this young stud, he looks like $1 million. He's got all the tools that you would want as a fighter. And I was just so fascinated, but like watching you just work. You're 39, right? You're 39 years old.
Years young.
Yeah. 39 years young. You've been in the game a long time, man. You've had your ups and your downs, and historically, a little bit older fighters struggle at the lighter weight classes, at heavyweight and light heavyweight, and even sometimes the middleweight. The older guys we can kind of prolong that a little bit, but at the lighter weight classes, man, the age factor really makes a difference. And it seems like you're kind of you're kind of flipping that whole narrative on its head. What has been your secret? Like how are you still competitive at 39 years old with a bajillion goddamn fights? You've been in the fucking game forever. How are you still fucking handling these guys, these young kids at 155
I,
pounds? It's
I, I
crazy to
don't
me.
I don't have what I came for yet. You know, I'm still motivated. I still have the discipline to get to the top of this division and be and to leave this sport knowing that I've done something to where I can hold my hat on and not have to kind of struggle and look to make ends meet. You know, I'm like that's one of I didn't necessarily get into this sport for like money and the fame and everything like that, but it comes a point where you do have to set yourself up for the future. You do have to do things the right way, and as long as I want to, you know, I'm not gonna fight forever. So this is the time where I really need to get serious and hold on to it before everything slips away. And then I look up and I'm playing the damn what if game and man, I used to do that. And now somebody looks at me and say, "Oh, really? Did you?" It's like, it's like, no, I'm gonna tell you, show you, like, you know. I'm really motivated and is still getting things, and I still want to get things done. So yeah, I'm not finished by a long shot.
Is there anything you've had to change, like in your training and your prep, or are you you're just rolling still?
You know, I think I've changed the way I train. I've changed the way I look at the game. I don't put a lot of miles on my body with like hard practice and saying if I bang up myself in the middle of a practice session, I'm not trying to work through it to like prove anybody wrong. I'm like, hey, I just tweaked something in my knee. I'm done for the day. I'm gonna hang it up, go rest, go figure this out, and recover the best way I can. I've actually feel like I've do necessarily put in a lot more hours training. Necessarily that be more road work, more time in the pool, you know, just specified wrestling classes and just doing the small little things. So try not to put as much wear and tear in my body, but definitely keep it as healthy and you know where I'm firing on all cylinders. And you know, I don't drink much anymore these days. You know, that was a thing that might have hindered me back in the past. So I'm just, you know, became more clean. You know, everything. My nutrition is on point, and you know, you got to focus on the little things right now to you know, stretch this out as long as I can.
It did a lot of those things come when you, because you've had a point, just like obviously myself, where you kind of had this wavy road and you were kind of up and down, and I remember I remember like seeing some things come out, some interviews you had done, and just feeling like, I don't want to, not saying like I wouldn't say I was feeling sorry for you, but like you like it just tugs at your heart a little bit, because I know what you were going through when you were talking about a lot of those struggles, and
Yeah.
there were some injuries and you've had some hand problems, and like me personally, I was like, fuck, like I just hope he can figure it out because you're too goddamn good, you know? But how did you, like, when those things were happening, was it some guy, I think people go at it differently. I tend to feel sorry for myself a little bit. I feel sorry for myself, and then it compounds, and then my wife or my friends, or they got to build me back up and essentially tell me to stop being a pussy. But I have some friends that just grind, and they're like, all right, this sucks really bad, but I'm just going to continue to keep pushing through it. What side of that spectrum are you on? Are you kind of just the grinder and you're going to keep fucking pushing forward, or did you have some
Yeah,
serious struggles?
yeah, I gotta keep, you know, pushing forward and just figuring out. Like, of course, we all have those times where we're kind of down on ourselves, and I sit in my apartment by myself for 4 days and nobody hears from me. You know, I've had those moments. I've had those times. So I'm not saying like I'm, you know, made a still and I don't have these down times where I'm feeling really bad on myself, but I can't do that too long because what's that gonna get me? You know, that's not going to make my situation better. That's going to make everything worse. You know, the best thing I can do when I get in those situations is get up, get back to work, and just figure it out. Like figure it out. Like nobody's gonna come save you, like they say, and
Right.
nobody's gonna sit there and feel sorry for you. That's for damn sure. Especially if you're feeling sorry for yourself, nobody's gonna come help you if you're just sitting here not doing anything. Now, if I'm out here grinding and putting in the time and the work and the effort, and I get some bumps here and there, and I need some help, then yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't be so much for somebody to lend a helping hand. But if you're not helping yourself, then that's where it all starts. And that's a big thing. I had to look in the stuff. I had to look in the mirror and just take everything on my shoulders and just go at it about that way. So that was kind of easier for me to deal with. It's everything just started blaming on myself. Stop pointing the finger at people. I told the guys over in
Right.
Louisiana that I turned I used to say like why a lot. Like why, man, why is this guy getting all this? Like why is this guy getting this fight? Why is this guy getting this money? I've done this and this. Like why am I not getting this? And then once I made that simple change into like a how, like how did this guy get this? Like how can I get back to this situation? How can I get back to getting the money? And then that made like a completely different switch in my mind. And I just started working and things start falling into place. And I look up on 3-fight win streak.
Yeah, kind of quietly too. It's kind of a quiet little win streak, and all of a sudden people are paying attention. Like, holy fuck, Michael Johnson on a 3-5 win streak.
Yeah, that's the
That's
plan.
nice. It's the best way.
I kind
It's
of
the
wanted to
best way
be
to do it.
quiet. Yeah, I kind of wanted to be quiet. Like I said, once I feel like my fall from the top 5 was so like quick and dramatic, and like I was just completely forgotten about and left for dead. Then I was like, oh, I'm so quiet. Nobody's even worried about me. So that's how I want this comeback to be. Like nobody even pays attention to it. Then out of nowhere, guys look up, man, this is 7, 8 fights in a row. And he's about to fight for a title at this age. Like who in the world saw this coming? Now we got a story that we can really sell to these people.
Man, I hope that happens, bro. Because I'll sell the fuck out of it. I hope that fucking happens. What do you think? Obviously in 2016 you got a win over Poirier. You guys know each other. You guys are kind of in the same, the same area of the world during training camp and stuff. What did you think of kind of the send off he got, his performance, and kind of just his whole journey?
Yeah, it was a great send off leading up into the ending factor. I think, yeah, I mean, you might like feel it this better way. Like if we announce a retirement before, it kind of leans against us. So we
Yeah,
say,
feels like that, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of, or so it's starting to feel like that and starting to see like that. But nevertheless, great career. He gave me one of the biggest opportunities I've gotten in the UFC, and I took advantage of it. So my hats off to him for that. He put up a great fight. Louisiana, it could have went either way. I think they just needed Max to win because he's sticking around. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Do you see him much
unfortunately,
when you're in Florida?
no, I don't see him much. I think he's a little bit on the other side of me. So he's about like a
Yeah,
good 30 minutes maybe.
nice. All right, bro. What do you want? Who do you want next? You got to have someone in mind. You got to have a name, right?
Well, I was throwing that Max Holloway name around. I was like, well, if he
Yeah,
loses this fight, I can see me and Max fighting it, but he won, so I can see him fighting upwards, not downwards, which I totally
right.
respect. So,
Yeah, maybe
eh, eh,
Topuria again. That
yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, and I thought of that too. I love to see that at 55. Max seems like he's moving a little better with this extra weight. However,
Yeah,
my next
totally agree.
opponent, um, I got no names at this point. I'm just looking for great opportunities. That's all I can ask for. That's all I can be blessed for by the UFC is they just continue to give me opportunities, continue to show them I'm getting better and just exceeding everybody's expectations and just surprising people.
Hell yeah. All right. Before I let you go, when I thought I had your number, so I was like digging for it. I was like, where in the fuck is this phone number? I couldn't find it, so I just text Rashad. I was like, hey, let me get that phone number, and then he texted me back a bunch of laughing faces. So it was a bunch of laughing faces, and it said, here's Spark's number. I've never heard anybody call you Spark ever, ever. Where
Yeah.
where does that come from?
That's funny. That's old school, man. So me and Rashad go back. From like Black Zillion, like a little bit pre Black Zillion days. And
Right.
he kind of took me under his wing, showed me the way I was young, getting into the sport, and I learned so much from Rashad inside, most importantly outside of the cage. Is I learned a lot from him, and then, so I got the tendency of having a little bit of a short temper, and like I kind of like snap a lot, and they used to give me shit all the time. Like used to play with me, push my buttons, and then out of nowhere I'm snapping and I'm yelling at them, or I'm cussing at somebody, or maybe even getting like closer to a fight. Like if we're all out, like hanging out, like I would maybe like snap on somebody else or kind of get into a fight. So the old Sparky name came in, and then there was like a Sparky Love Jones that got put in, and like it was. It's a lot of history behind it. So when we got some more time, I'll have to go down that rabbit hole with you.
Yeah, that threw me off, and I agree with you, bro. Rashad's changed who I am as a man. He's just I've learned a lot from him, just even in the gym, rolling on the weekends that we work together. But outside of it, just life. I've learned a lot from Rashad, so I relate to you there. All right, bro. Well, you're coming off a win. You need to go do some celebrating. When I say I am so fucking proud of you, like watching you fight, I felt like you're doing it for the rest of us that are too old and can't do it anymore. Like I felt like I was there with you, bro. So congratulations. You looked absolutely fucking incredible. Keep rolling. Keep whatever you're doing, it's working, and keep doing it. And fuck, bro, you get another fight booked. You let me know, man. We'll come on here. Let's chop it up and talk about it.
Will do, man. Appreciate it. I mean, thank you for those words, man. That means a lot coming from you. And yeah, I'll still keep riding for the OGs like
Hell yeah.
us. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, bro. Thank you very much.
Got me, Aaron. You have a good night.
39 years young. I fucking love Michael Johnson. Quietly 3-fight win streak. I didn't even realize until I was just typing up some notes today that he's won 3 in a row.
Yeah, and I'm just happy. I say this all the time, and you guys are gonna get sick of hearing me say it. I love when just good things happen to good people. Michael Johnson's been just a perennial good guy. I've always had incredible interactions with him, and I like to see him do well, whether he's old or he's not old. Michael, I'm gonna say you're old, but you're old and you're doing well, and I appreciate that.
He also defended you when the whole Jackson saga was going
He
on. So
did.
I've
He
been
did.
waiting to get Michael
Right.
Johnson on
Yeah.
here.
Right. Like I wanted to bring it up, but right there, he didn't have to do that, and he did, and I always appreciated him for that. But we got more fights coming up, as always. The UFC train just keeps rolling. As much as we want to sit here and talk about Dustin Poirier for the next 2 weeks, we got fights this weekend. So it's a perfect opportunity. Give a shout out to Legendz, the official sweepstakes partner of the On Paper podcast. Don't forget, it's always 100% free to play. You make your fight picks, you climb the leaderboard, and you win real prizes. There's no betting, there's no stress, just your fight IQ versus the world. Hit the link in the description. Kelly's not going to mess it up. She's going to leave it there. Hit the link, make your picks. Well, let's get into those fights.
All right, UFC Abu Dhabi this weekend. Quietly a good card. We've got a good main event. Robert Whittaker versus De Ridder. Piotr Jan returning to action against Marcus McGee in the co-main. You're actually on the card, which you failed to mention, against Nikita Krylov.
Yeah.
But main event, Whittaker, De Ridder. Rob's the slight betting favorite, minus 155 to De Ridder's plus 130. It's a big one, Ant. Middleweight titles up for grabs in just a few weeks in Chicago when Dricus du Plessis takes on Hamza Chimaev. Whittaker, unfortunately, in a weird spot. He's got losses to both, but De Ridder with a big win here could put himself right in the title mix.
Well, I am a long time notorious Robert Whittaker nut hugger. I've been swinging on that guy's balls for a long time. I fucking love that guy. I love everything about him. I love watching him fight. It's a tough test for De Ridder. We're gonna find out where De Ridder really is.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a couple really good wins in the UFC, but no elite wins. I know all of you, fellow Division I wrestling fans like myself want to say that the Bo Nickel win is an elite level win. It's not. I've been saying for a long time. Love Bo Nickel. Love everything that he does. Incredible wrestler. I'm a huge wrestling guy. Bo was not ready for that fight. He's not good enough. He's not good enough yet. I'm not saying he's not gonna be.
Mhm.
He's just not quite there yet. De Ridder's a real deal monster, and he's been good for a long time. If you're not paying attention to the international scene, De Ridder's been a name that's been at the top of that list for a long time. So we're gonna find out where it really is, though. We haven't seen him against elite level UFC talent. Because of my biases, I have a tough time seeing Whitaker lose that fight. I think he's too hard to take down. I don't think that De Ridder's a good enough striker, but stranger things have happened.
Fair enough. I can see the headline now. Anthony Smith says Bo Nickel sucks.
That's what it's going to be. Anthony Smith swinging from Robert Whitaker's nuts and says the Bo Nickel sucks. That's what it's going to say.
Anthony Smith using Robert Whitaker's nuts as a hammock.
Yeah, he would. He would.
One more fight I want to get your take on. Featured prelim Bryce Mitchell, who we've had on the show, taking on Said Nurmagomedov. All I got to say, Bryce better protect his goddamn neck. Said Nurmagomedov loves a choke, and Bryce is susceptible.
Yeah, he can be. I'm interested to see Bryce at 135 pounds. I text him. We texted back and forth like a week ago, maybe a little longer. Just kind of checking how the weight cut stuff is going. He said he's right on track and that things are going well. Typically when guys move down a weight class, it seems to work out for the most part. Maybe didn't quite work out for like your TJ Dillashaw. Like he kind of struggled with it, but
Hey, not too much on Dillashaw.
Well, no, like when you move down, like you're forced to do extra things. That's extra road work, extra conditioning, extra dieting. That comes with extra, a touch of more, I don't know, discipline. So I think that'll be good for Bryce for sure. He's always been, he's always had great conditioning, always looked good. I think that's going to just be exacerbated at this point, going down to 135 pounds. I think the UFC did him a favor after they kind of fed him to the fucking wolves versus John Silva. I think that was kind of a punishment that he accepted willingly. And
he said he asked for it.
He did say that. No, he did say that. Maybe that's right. I don't know, but it did feel like he was being kind of led to slaughter a little bit there. But this one, I feel like they did him a favor here. He's moving down a weight class, another grappling heavy guy. Although he can strike too, though, but so can Bryce. I mean, Bryce, a little bit unconventional. Doesn't necessarily always look super clean, but very effective. Let's not forget, Bryce Mitchell beat Dan Ige. Like
True.
Bryce is good. Bryce is very good.
Just because y'all hate him doesn't mean he's not a good
fighter. Just
fighter.
because you don't like him doesn't mean he can't fight. The guy can fucking fight. So I'm excited for that one. I'm interested in how Bryce is going to do at 135 pounds against a worthy grappler that can also strike.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, sneaky good card this weekend. We've all been talking about Dustin Poirier so much that I think it's kind of getting lost in the sauce, but it'll be a good one on your birthday as you recover from your surgery. We've been yapping away, but there has been some big news announced just a few hours ago. Dana White announced 4 big fights. I'll give them to you rapid fire. Let me know your immediate thoughts, reactions, and we'll go from there. We got 3 announced for UFC 320 in Las Vegas. We'll start with the main event. Magomed Ankalaev, Alex Pereira 2.
Pass.
What do you mean pass?
Wait, sorry. I'm just kidding. I was
like, that's not how the game works.
That was a great attempt at being a hater. Yeah, it's a good fight. I mean, I think that's what we thought was going to happen. I think there's been some negotiation problems leading up to this, but it's a good fight. I think it's the rightful fight. I think Pereira did enough as champion. He did enough favors for the UFC. Maybe he laid an egg in their last fight. And he was super busy. He was crazy active. And it seems like that's what they're kind of laying their hat on, that he was just overactive, overtrained, had no breaks. And now that this time will be different. I don't know that that's true. Maybe it's the same result, but I think he deserves it. I think he deserves a rematch for sure. So I like that fight.
Absolutely.
Ankalaev's hard to beat, though. God damn, that guy's hard to beat. Especially without a strong wrestling game. That guy's going to be really hard to beat.
Agree.
Pereira can do it, but it's hard. It's a hard fight.
We also got the co-main event on that card, which somebody give me an IV and inject this right into my veins. Merab Dvalishvili taking on Corey Sandhagen.
Oh, you can inject that anywhere you want in me.
Right in the ass.
Yeah, I'll take it all. No, I love that fight. Merab's down to fucking fight anybody. The Merab story has been told over and over and over again. But Corey Sandhagen finally getting an opportunity to fight for the undisputed title. That's good for business. It's a great fight. It's a hard fight for Corey though.
Merab's a tough out, but
really
Corey
hard fight
Sandhagen's
for Corey.
tricky.
Corey's very tricky. He has the team around him to come up with a sufficient game plan to figure it out. Now he has to be the one that executes and has to make it work. But either way, it's a great fight, and you're not going to get a more willing person than Corey Sandhagen. He's going to do everything he possibly can, and you're going to get the best version of him.
Last one for UFC 320 in Las Vegas so far. Yuri Prochazka taking on Khalil Roundtree.
Okay, while you're injecting Corey Sandhagen and Merab Dvalishvili in me, you can go ahead just add you can add Khalil Roundtree and Yuri Prochazka into that injection too, because I'll take that one as well. That's just a good fight. I would be silly to sit here and talk the X's and the O's with you because it's fucking stupid. They're gonna go out. They're gonna go out there. Yuri might have a samurai ponytail. He also might have a fucking parking aerial shaved into his chest. Who fucking knows? He's gonna come out. He's gonna bite down his goddamn mouthpiece, and he's gonna throw hard for as long as he's awake. And Khalil's gonna do the exact same thing. Khalil he's a little bit on unsteady waters though, a little bit. You get one where you can go in and be a little bit like you. Khalil's always very willing to get into firefights, and he's always exciting, and his knockouts are great, and that's who he is. Mm-hmm. So then he goes in the Pereira fight and has another one of those where he just throws the fuck down and just goes. And now the people that did know him before are very loving. They're giving him all this praise, and then he has the fight with Jamal. He's a bit unwilling to engage in some circumstances. He was he had a lot of self-preservation in mind during that fight. You get one of those. You can't do that twice in a row. Your popularity and who you are as a person is built off of what your fight style is. You can't change it now. So you just have to fucking live with it. And you can't go in with Yuri when everyone's expecting this to be this barn burner fight and then be all worried about self-preservation. That's not who you are. That's not why you're here. That's not why this fight is booked. That's not why you're in the position you're in. You get one. And then the UFC is going to start treating you differently.
All right, last one, and it's a big one, literally and figuratively. Okay. UFC 321 in Abu Dhabi. Your main event will be Tom Aspinall taking on Ciryl Gane.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah, cool.
We've been waiting for Tom Aspinall to fight. He's been wanting to fight.
I want Tom to fight.
What's the problem?
Is it going to look any different than Jones and Gane?
I think so.
Really?
I think Ciryl Gane went in
everyone's gonna die on the hill that John Jones was gonna lose to Tom Aspinall. Everyone says that Tom is better than John, correct? So why would that fight go any different?
I don't think it has anything to do with...
Why am I supposed to be excited about this?
Hi, I'm trying to answer. I don't think it has anything to do with Tom Aspinall. I think Ciryl Gane went into the John Jones fight with the happy to be here's and was a little starstruck and hesitant. I don't think he'll be that way against Tom Aspinall.
Well, I'm going to have to work really hard on trying to figure out how to sell this one. I just don't care. That's not the fight I want.
What fight do you want? The John Jones fight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're not getting it. It's certainly not getting it at the White House, according to Dana White.
It would have been way better. Like if you would have said, all right, it's Tom Aspinall versus Alex Pereira. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, but you have Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev.
Yeah, we'll just fucking switch
Everyone's busy. We all have dance partners.
Just fucking switch that. We'll go, I don't know, Magomed Ankalaev versus Ciryl Gane. There we go. Let's do
that wouldn't sell a goddamn thing.
that fight wouldn't pass gas.
No.
It's
you hate it.
I have this John Jones hangover because I want the Jones Aspinall fight. The Aspinall Ciryl Gane fight. If we're getting into the X's and the O's and the actual technical part of the fight, it's actually a really, really good fight. It's just not the one I want. So I think
about
that's
it. We all wanted John Jones, Francis Ngannou, and we got over it. You'll get over it.
Yeah. The common denominator here is John Jones.
Exactly.
Essentially,
Who's back in the testing pool?
John's just taking everything from me. He took the Francis Ngannou John Jones fight away from me. He took the fucking Aspinall fight away from me. He took the title away from me.
I was going to say, are we going to mention the obvious? I was going to let you decide.
Yeah, he fucked up my own title shot. You know what? John Jones is just ruined my life.
Well, I'll happily be watching UFC 321 Tom Aspinall, Cyril Khan. You can pout
That's
all
a
you
joke,
like.
by the way. That's a joke. John didn't ruin my life. It's just a joke.
Everyone interpret as you will.
Yeah, he's a fucking pain in my ass, though.
All right, that's about all I've got for you, Anthony. We've ran the gamut here.
We have. It was a good time. I'm glad you made it back from Spain.
I'm glad you made it back from Mexico.
For anyone wondering, Kelly has taken a pay cut. So we have
Kelly has not.
Yes, she has. Kelly's taking a pay cut. I didn't know that I was paying her so much that she's spending her free time in Spain doing the podcast work from there.
I spend my free time doing this podcast.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. So, she still works here. We'll see how that works out next week. As always,
whether you like it or not, all of you.
We're gonna get something out for you guys next week. It might be an episode from a hospital bed, but either way, we'll figure it out. As always, share, subscribe, like everything. Get some comments on there too. I like when you guys are on there talking shit. Sometimes I'll get bored at night and I'll come read your comments, and they're fucking hilarious. So keep doing that. But yes, share with your friends. Tell people how absolute shit this podcast is. And I'll see you guys next week. It's my birthday. I'll be 37 on Saturday.
Happy belated, oldie.
It's not belated. It's not here yet.
Well, it will be.
Jesus Christ, you're embarrassing.
I have half a brain cell. I'm jet lagged.
You're jet lagged.
It's
Okay.
late.
Yeah, if you guys want to, you can go on Instagram and wish me happy birthday on Saturday. It'd make me feel really good about myself. And we will see you guys right here, same spot, next week. We partner with HomaFight Picks to get you the most accurate and well-researched fight predictions. They do all the legwork so you can focus on winning. Picks will be sent directly to your phone via text or email. It's totally up to you. The second we upload them. Use code Lionheart to get 7 free days at winnable.com/HOF picks. That's WINIBLE.com/HOF picks.
With Anthony Smith.